What's up, It's your nephew, L.A. Mars. We gonna do it one time for the people like this. Race Corner Live, Race Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. From Canada across the world, you can see that he beneficial. Never the same topics, he's speaking on different issues. Preaching at different churches and speaking at different venues. Ray is that living proof that Jesus is really with you. Controversial issues, he gon' talk about it. Without Race Corner Live, hear his thoughts about it. If you ain't tuning in, just know you tripping, homie. This ain't all about religion, it's the wisdom, homie. And the vision, homie. It was written, but sometimes you gotta listen just so you complete the mission, homie. Race Corner Live, he got a testimony. I just thank God he got these blessings for me. For real. I learned not to even mess with phonies. Never. Race Corner Live, he got a message for me. Thanks. I said a message for me. Race Corner Live, he got a message for me. Got Race Corner Live, Race Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. Race Corner Live, Race Corner Live. Never be surprised, Ray is on the rise. God is on our side, so we gon' survive. God is on our side, so we gon' survive.
Well, good morning, good afternoon. Whenever you seeing this live. Hey, this your guy. This Race Corner Live comes to you live all the way from here. Where it's here right cheer. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This your guy Ray Wilkerson coming to you live where we keep telling you right here. Listen, I want to get this housekeeping out the way real quick. I need you to hit that share button. Need you to hit that like button. Need you to hit that notification button. Go on over to our YouTube page, Exodus House Life, Exodus Life Change or Race Corner Live. Hey, subscribe. Hit the notification, hit the like button. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Listen, I just wanted to jump on real quick this morning. When you see the title, value. Listen, this is whenever you listen to this, there are entrepreneurs, non-entrepreneurs, business owners, regular folk. There are people around you that have been assigned to help you. There are organizations, there are businesses, there are mentors, there are all type of people that have been assigned to help you. I think one of the problems that we're having in our society, especially in the African American community, is that we don't see the value in the people that we have around us. We don't know who the people are and their gifts and talent. God's placing people in our lives around us, but because they're not looking like how we think they should look. I was listening to this guy. I listened to him lately, but they talked about social proofing. Social proof, meaning, do you have proof of what you're doing? A lot of times we don't investigate. We don't see the things that people are doing who God has placed in our life, because some people don't have this big platform, or they don't have a big church, or they don't have a big following, or all those things, but they have the proof of what they're doing in life that's changing, that's edifying, that's creating, that's magnifying, that's creating wealth, that's creating content. They're there and they're in your life, but because we don't discern, because we looking at the outward, because we don't investigate, because we we don't try a person's spirit, because we don't do certain things that the people that you're needing to help you sustain in business, the people that you're needing to help your organization grow, the people that you need that can help give you a great information about relationships, we overlook, and we're missing out on the help that God has sent for us in our businesses, in our endeavors in life. So I was thinking about this. I actually think about this a lot, um, because what I try to do, I try to listen and recognize who God sends to me. I pray for a team. I pray, I'm in the midst of that God will send a brother who's hungry, who's young or my age, it doesn't matter, who really wants to go to another level in life. I've noticed, and no pun at the brothers, right now females and they're going through this thing about black females masculinity and all that stuff, but they're hungry in areas that we're not as men. They're they're forced to do certain things. You know, I always say, I was telling my members that's in my incubation program and that's in the pod process, meaning they're helping, uh, they're setting up a program for reentry of women coming out of prison. And I say, y'all an example because they have teamed up and they have partnered. But I'm noticing, even as our brothers are growing, the younger brothers, they are teaming up. I looked at this circle of CEOs. These young brothers are teaming up and creating wealth, and they're creating contents, and they're not battling with each other. They understand the value that each one of them brings to that organization, to what they do, and has created millionaires and billionaires, and they're teaching people how to do that. But what it was, each one of them saw value in each other. Each one of these young ladies saw value in each other. And a lot of times, and if you would have looked from the beginning, it didn't look like that. It didn't look like you think it was supposed to look. We want to go after the big, great speakers and the big names, and then we say they want to charge $3,000, $4,000, and we might pay it or we might not. But right in your midst, that you can grow with somebody. The greatest thing in the world is to be able to grow. And I'm talking to my entrepreneurs. I'm talking to my black folks in general. I was sharing that there's some things when you start a new business, especially a black owned business, and you're trying to bring a couple of people on board that's going to work with you, that's going to grow with you, and the first thing they come with this big salary that they want, or as you're growing somewhere in the midst within the first 90 days, they're like, oh no, you got to start paying me more, and they leave in that void, and then it's like everything crumbles. Instead of us just sticking together, right, sticking together, sacrificing together, looking at the bigger picture together. And we have a hard time doing that. And it's crucial right now in these times that we work together, that we partner together, that we bring our resources together. And then we have to value each other's opinion. We have to value each other's gift. We have to value each other's talent. We have to understand in business, building business credit. We have to understand when we hear something. For instance, for my Exodus Life Change financial solution, we have 8 sources of funding for small businesses, for entrepreneurs. You would think that you would at least take a look at it, knowing that you keep saying capital is a problem. You would at least say we have our incubation program. And I'm not promoting that stuff right now, but I'm just giving you examples. I can only give you social proofing of what I know about. So we don't structure our businesses to be able to scale up. And then when we get the opportunity and we hear about scaling up, we don't want to do it. We are content with mom and pop businesses and micro businesses that helps nobody but an individual. Because I'm making 200,000 a year, I'm making 6 figures. But like I always say, what happened if I work with four other big people, and I get 20% of 20 million? So it comes a time that we have to start looking. We don't have to. You don't have to do nothing that you don't want to do. And then we have to come out of this. My. Let me talk to my religious folk for a minute. My leaders. You got to come out of thinking that God is just revealing to you. Period. That your way, you and your little clique, is the only way that people hear God. If they don't hear it the way you hear it, or if they don't, I was talking to Apostle the other day, and he said, especially in the church, because we're not going outside the walls, we nitpicking about each other inside of the walls. We're looking at what each other aren't doing because we're not going outside of the walls. So if we go outside the walls, we'll stop looking at each other and we'll start looking at the people that need the help. As businessmen, as entrepreneurs, we'll start looking at our structure. We start looking at our strategy. We start looking at our system. We'll start looking at ourselves. We'll start looking at the things that we're weak in, and who in my circle is strong in those areas that I can partner with, that we can come together as one, and that we can start decreasing this wealth gap that's in the African American community. We cannot decrease the wealth gap if we're not raising up businesses that are hiring people. If we're not scaling up business to hire people, 6 million jobs are we're lacking 6 million jobs because we have businesses that don't scale up. We're lacking 1.3 million businesses that can hire people because we don't know how to scale up. We're lacking touching into $8 trillion of wealth that we can create through our businesses. 8 trillion our net worth that we're not tapping into because we're not scaling our business. Or are we listening to the people, or are we partnering with the people that can teach us to do it? So I need you, test yourself. Look at your group and see how much value each one of y'all bring. At one point, and then sometimes we have to step out beyond the group that we're with. If everybody's making 50,000, we all going to stay making 50,000. When do we start linking up with people who's making 6 figures? When do we start learning and teaching and reading? When do we come off the TV? And it's not for everybody. Some people are just going to work. So, but if I'm a Black African American business owner and there's African Americans that just like to work, well, let me get the business and get our best workers in our businesses, in our companies, in our warehouse, in the places that we need to do, in the places that we need them to grow. Okay, look, this your guy, Ray Wilkinson, coming to you live all the way from here. We're here, right? Chill. And like we always say here on Ray's Corner Live, God loves you, and I love you. Ain't
What's
nothing
up,
you can do about it.
It's your nephew, LA Mars. We gonna do it one time for the people like this. Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Never be surprised that Ray is on the rise. Never be a fool, take it from the rise. Instagram, Facebook, Ray is going live. From Camden across the world, you can see that he beneficial. Never the same topics, he's speaking on different issues. Preaching at different churches and speaking at different venues. Ray is that living proof that Jesus is really with you.